On this week's episode, we have an up-and-comer in the strongman world, Ken Kuyath. Big Ken is a former Marine who was running over 13 miles a day in order to make the weight cut for basic training. Fast forward 10 years, and 60 pounds later, and Big Ken just placed first in his first strongman event in Minneapolis at the Winter Strongman Assault. Listen in as we go along his journey and see what the future holds for this man of strength. Finally, this episode of the Iron Huddle Podcast is sponsored by Torque Strength and Conditioning. Torque Strength and Conditioning is a great place to work out and offers a variety of programs such as Torque CrossFit, Torque Barbell, Torque Fit, personal coaching, and youth and teen development. And we hope you enjoy the podcast.
So we're lucky enough today to have the current and future strongman with us, Ken. How do you pronounce your last name, Ken?
Kuyath.
Kuyath. All right. That's a nice, strong voice, too. So I first learned about you. I went to a lifting meet over at, is it Iron Works in River Falls, Wisconsin.
Yep.
And there was a meet going on there. I think it was November, October-ish. Is that right?
End of September.
End of September. Okay. Somewhere near that area. And it was a bench press, deadlift.
Yep.
Was it a squat or I don't remember the squat.
No.
Okay, so push and pull meet. And I remember you had attempted going after a mid 800 pound squat, was it? Or what was you went after?
I went at 805.
805. Did you get the 805?
No.
Okay, but even having the opportunity to pull that is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, I got up to my knees, but that's my normal sticking point.
Okay. Come on, get it. No, that's impressive. I remember just seeing you warming up and everything, and there's just not too many guys who show up at meets like that are built like you are, and that can get that much force and explosion and pull that amount of weight off the ground. So, do you kind of want to talk about where your strength journey started for yourself? Because you've kind of we were talking before, and you just somewhat recently got into the powerlifting strongman stuff, right?
Yeah, well, I've been in and out of the gym since I was freshman in high school.
Okay.
But I was just dicking around doing whatever I wanted. Like
most people at that age, though, right?
Yeah. Just
and
going in.
Where'd you grow up at?
In Red Wing, Minnesota.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah. So I started lifting and then mostly trying to get into better for sports and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I went to college. I played football at River Falls. And the strength and conditioning coach there actually taught me how to lift.
Oh, really?
Yep, and he does strongman too. It's Carmen Pata.
Okay.
He used to do it. I don't know if he still does it.
He was here competing yesterday at the Olympic weight.
Was he the one we had in the Olympic yesterday?
Yeah, he's kind of been back and forth between strongman and the Olympic weight.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he was pretty explosive yesterday. He was good.
Sure, he's a big man.
Yeah.
He's a big son of a bitch.
Well, and the unique thing about him, which I give him a lot of credit for, is the Olympic lifting, you're very, stoic, and you go about your approach very differently than powerlifting strongman. You don't screaming at your name. You walk up there all silently, but his kid was in the crowd, 15 feet from him. You go up there a bit, smile and wave at the kid, and then you flip the switch and do the lift. And then he'd smile and wave again. But being able to turn that switch on and off, probably after doing it for so many years, and the consistency of it is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's always the way he was when he was teaching us how to lift and stuff. He'd like to take around, but then you had to do the work, otherwise he'd get on you.
Which is a good way for you guys to learn, too.
Yeah, I learned a lot from him, and then... But I never really did any powerlifting or anything. It was all based on playing football.
Sure.
But then after I graduated, I started working and just kind of fell away from doing anything in the gym.
Yeah.
So I was out of school working for about a year, and I decided to join the Marines.
Okay.
And for that, I was always too big for that. But
because how tall are you?
6'3".
Okay. And what was your weight back when you were, at either playing football and then afterwards?
The heaviest I got playing football is 295.
Oh, wow. So what positions were you in football?
I mostly played offensive guard.
Okay.
I played some tackle and center, but it was mostly guard.
Okay. Did you guys
the men are at.
Yeah. Welcome to the party. Did you pull out there? Was it all straight zone and straight head stuff?
I was mostly a puller.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not a very good, straightforward off the ball type of guy.
Okay.
Probably
more lateral.
a little quicker.
Sure.
But
okay.
Yeah. When I started training for the Marines, though, I was doing mostly CrossFit stuff and then running all the time.
Yeah. Well, was there a weight they wanted you to get down to even, when you went to the recruiter's office or they came to you, however that worked out for you, what was the goal weight they wanted you to be at? Was it a body fat percentage? What was that?
So for going to boot camp, it was just weight. I had to be under 230.
Oh, wow. So it was 60 pounds?
Who wants to weigh that? Sorry for you guys.
Imagine if we were in shape. And how long did you have from when you kind of signed up to the time you had to go to boot camp?
I want to say it was about 8 or 9 months.
Okay, so you had some time.
Yeah, so I had plenty of time. But I started out just running.
Yeah.
I'd go out work out with recruiters every once in a while and then doing CrossFit, like I said. But I started out, I'd barely be able to run a mile.
Sure.
And I worked up to where I was running 10 miles a day.
Are you serious? So how would you increase it over the time? Did you go like, a mile and a half, or did you go straight to 2 miles, or how did you kind of do that?
I always just base it off how I feel. So
Okay.
like I lived out in the country outside of River Falls, so I'd always go like, I'm gonna make it this house today, and then I'll turn around and go back.
Okay.
So I would go by like houses.
Sure.
And then I would just track it. I had one of the running apps or whatever on my phone. I'd just track it on that and just however far I went that day.
Okay.
I think the farthest I went was a 13-mile run one day.
Holy Jesus.
I had started to like running, and then I went to the Marines, and I hate it. So. Big change there.
Yeah. So, I ventured to running a few times, and I thought I was going to be skinny. So, and growing up in the country as well, like I've done the dirt road and the country running and stuff. And the one thing you don't think about, all of a sudden it'll hit you, and you see that house you always drive by with that long drive that's really nice. But when you're driving, you don't see that dog sprinting after you at 30 yards. Did you ever come across that when you're running up Wisconsin roads at all, or any weird like turkeys coming to try to take you out?
I saw a couple turkeys, but they've never come running at me. Okay. There's one of the farther places I would go. They had like these, I don't know what they're called, but they're like, they look like oxen, but they like have the hair on it.
Okay.
They'd always come running up to the fence and like watch me.
Yeah.
Well, I knew I had the fence there, so I was good.
They probably saw a former bull and they wanted to kind of mate or something, right? That's crazy. So 13 miles, holy smokes! And that was kind of probably after the close to the 8 or 9 months you worked up to that point. Is that, or could you have gone more than that, or that's where you limited at 13 miles?
I probably could have gone farther, but I just.
You don't want to go 13.2.
Well, like I was saying, I didn't really have a goal. I just went until I was like, all right, I should probably turn around and go back. And I looked at it, I was like, ran 13 miles.
Nice.
There you go.
I think I rode my bike that far once. I lived in a little town called Lakefield, and then the weight room I used to run in college, or high school and college, so then I would ride my bike towards the end of the summer, prepping for football. I'm like, well, I gotta do some cardio now rather than just agility, and I would die. I'd go there, lift, ride it back. That was a fucking bike.
Yeah. So did you? Yeah, and that's great. Summertime for you. So
yeah, it was summer.
If you had 9 months to train for this thing, did you have to run in the winter months at all sometimes?
Yeah, I left for boot camp in December, so
Okay.
I was running in the snow.
Jeez. Wow.
Sweatpants and a sweatshirt.
But your lungs just hurt all the time breathing that cold air.
Absolutely. So did you shed pretty fast for the time, or did it take you all 9 months to get to that body weight? And what did you go in at? Were you right at the 230, or were you more below that?
I left at 227.
Oh, wow.
Because that's the skinniest I've been since I remember my weight.
Yeah.
I was a freshman in high school, 260.
He's like, yeah, I don't remember the last time I was that weight. I don't think ever. I think I was born at like 235.
Yeah, right?
I was 12 pounds when I was born.
Jesus.
Still pretty big.
You almost have to take that 227, put it in a plaque, and frame it in your garage or
Are
something.
your parents just really large?
Yeah, they're both big.
Really? God.
I'm still the biggest in my family, but they're...
Really?
Yeah.
You never know. Like one of my really good friends, his dad used to be the tallest man in Minnesota. He's like 5'10".
How do they figure that out?
And skinny as shit. No, all of a sudden I saw a picture of him. I'm like, is that your dad? And he's like, yeah, he's actually the tallest man in Minnesota for like 10 years. I'm like, holy shit. Last name's Moen. My dad's like 5'8".
Yeah, and you're tall.
185. You just never know.
What are you, 6'2"?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just under 6'3". But yeah, you just never know.
So do you have siblings as well that are kind of your size, or are they just...
I have two older sisters. They're a little taller than average, but yeah, they're... I wouldn't say they're big, but they're...
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to call my sister.
I was like,
Yeah.
tread lightly, man.
We opened you up to... I thought you were going to say you have 3 strong brothers.
They won't listen to this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's so. And then when you were in River Falls, what did your lifting coach? What kind of? I guess what were your components there for football? Was a lot of cleans? Was a lot of just bench press, squats? What kind of work did you guys do there?
There was a lot of cleans. Did some bench, not a ton.
Would you do a lot of press in the cleans as well, like the clean and jerk, or just a clean?
Just a clean.
Okay.
I think he was just trying to get like the agility still there.
Yep.
Some power.
Yep.
So we did some squat, but we never really had any big ones.
Sure.
We had one guy, Ross Wargila. I think he was the only one that broke 600.
Were you there with the kid who ended up transferring to West Virginia? He was a fullback.
He was
few years older.
About 5 years older.
Yeah, he was an absolute beast.
Yeah.
I remember his story. He was so fun to watch. I think they interviewed him one time after a game in West Virginia, and his nose was bleeding. Just jack guys up all game, and he was just crying. He's so happy to be part of West Virginia from growing up in Wisconsin and then transferring to the D1 school. It's quite the journey. I think you're appreciative for all you've been through. But back to you then. When you got into the to the Marines, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Where was your base camp at? Where'd you go for that?
I was mostly stationed in Camp Pendleton, California.
Oh, wow.
So I went over to like Japan, Korea, and Australia, but I was mostly California for most of the time.
How long were you in?
4 years.
4 years.
Oh, wow. So were you one of the taller guys in your units too, or even still being 227? Did you always remain in 230, or did you beef up a little bit?
I was like,
Just naturally.
I'm in. Now I'm going back to normalcy.
Well, like I went into boot camp at 227. Like I'm supposed to be 220 because they have a height weight thing, and they expect you to lose weight in boot camp. But I gained like 15 pounds. So I went from running 10 miles a day to like their workouts aren't that.
Yeah.
Compared to 10 miles a day, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So if you're used to that kind of stuff, I put on weight.
And let's go back then. So when you were running those 13 miles, what was your nutrition like to lose all the weight too? Were you just eating like a rabbit, or were you actually eating so much that you were losing too? How did that work for you?
I was on a pretty strict diet, like eggs in the morning with some toast, and then I'd go to work, or like I'd take like an apple or banana for the first break, and then a sandwich and a little something else for a second break, and then the evenings I would eat a pretty big meal, but it's still nothing compared to like what I eat now.
Yeah, exactly. To a normal person, that's a lot of food, but for you, it's just helping
that's
lose
not
weight.
much at all.
So then, when you were putting the weight back on, when you were in boot camp and everything, were you guys eating pretty damn well there at boot camp?
Not really. It's just you get 3 meals a day, but it's like terrible cafeteria food. But you're doing so much, you're always hungry, so you're just forcing whatever you can down.
Like a machine.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I was just so used to doing so much, and then I tailored it back so much was physical.
That's why.
So it was like went up, but I came out of boot camp. I don't know. 235-ish.
Okay, so you're probably in the same range, though. You're not like beastly. You put on 20 pounds and it piss you off. And what were you telling me about the tape they'd have to do to make sure you were always within that body percentage? How did you do that?
So after boot camp, you're supposed to stay within your height and weight range.
Okay.
But for me, it's 6'3", 220. Yeah. I was supposed to be a 6'3", 220, which I never was. A single day in the Marine Corps, but because there's guys that are built bigger, they'll take your body fat percentage.
Sure.
They'll tape around your midsection and around your neck. Okay. And they convert that into your fat percentage. Yeah. You have to be under 18% for a male. Oh wow. I don't know, 20% for a female, I think it is. But I was always, there's a couple times where I was like 19%. They're like, you have this amount of time to get below. I was always able to make that.
Wow.
But,
Which that's like still I mean, some people might think that's a lot, but for an athlete, that like 17, 18, 16, 19, like right around that range for a male is pretty freaking good still.
Oh, it's really good.
That's actually really good. So that had to be hard to bounce around like that, and it's not to mention it's pretty. I would assume it's kind of inaccurate the way they did it.
Was it really?
Yeah, like that. That's
it was still built on the 1940 scale, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's guys that taped out. There's like you can just look at them and be like, you shouldn't even be here.
Like they're soft as shit.
But they got a big neck.
Oh, okay. So he was out.
So like, I had a big midsection, but it was like.
Muscle.
Power belly.
So,
Well, you see someone has like some of those strongmen. Yeah. I mean, you guys have a big trunk.
Oh, absolutely.
Like what are you going to say? Oh, you're fat? No, fuck no. Some of those guys have 6-packs.
Look at it.
Christ.
He's a straight block right down his shoulder. Right?
So that's pretty inaccurate.
Well, and also being, I think, did you guys lift quite a bit as well when you were in the Marines or not? What was that like? Because I think the more you lift, naturally you see weightlifters or bodybuilders or powerlifters, your neck is thicker just because you're using it for the squat and even your bed, everything is kind of involved in it.
Hell yeah, you can tell when someone doesn't lift heavy. Yeah. Some of those like figure model bodybuilder dudes with their skinny ass necks and
little forearms.
Yeah, little forearms and dainty hands. Sorry, I'm talking shit. We call them no neckers.
Hello, board shorts.
Yeah. You can wear those?
So what kind of training would you guys do when you were in the Marines as far as weightlifting type?
There really wasn't any weightlifting.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah, if you want to do it on your own, you did. I went pretty much 6 days a week.
Yeah.
I'd lift on my own. But for like unit training, there's always either a run or like once in a while we get to play soccer or something stupid.
Oh my gosh,
like,
really?
Yeah, or like martial arts type training. It's not real martial arts, but it's their Marine Corps martial arts.
Okay.
So you like grapple each other and stuff, but there's never weightlifting.
Interesting. Now, is it because, well, you said you were overseas sometimes, but did they not have the infrastructure built in to have it there? Or, I mean, I feel like maybe it's changed since you were there, but Matt Wenning talks a lot. I don't know if he works with the Marines directly, the Army, but he talked about he had some plan designed, I thought, where he was working with some sort of one of our U.S. forces where...
He works with Rangers.
With the Rangers. Okay, he's trying to change all that because you don't want, like
there's
great example.
There's a shift, definitely, because one of my interns, he's stationed up in Alaska, and he talks about that. They're trying to shift it, but the problem is... Don't quote me, I'd have to ask him, we'll have him on here, but the thing is, it's trying to get it systematic and know what to do, and they're actually trying to set standards and testing and stuff now, and a lot of it is lifting actually, so it is changing.
Yeah, you'd want your Rangers and your your top dogs out there.
They want to be bad motherfuckers.
Yeah, versus pencil neck geeks. I mean, it's probably give and take with all the running's obviously needed.
Well, I think it's a hard thing. They have to be able to. I mean, in combat, you got to be able to fucking run. You got to be able to do it all, really. If it comes down to that.
And maybe it'll start going on a transition. It's not already, which we don't know. I guess we're just speculating, but. You think they'd want to have thicker necks there, that kind of stuff.
I know I've only been out for a little over a year now.
Oh, really?
They're starting to add, like, one of the fitness...
You put all that?
Sorry.
Wow. He got big.
Yeah, my gosh.
They're starting to put it into, like, there's 2 different physical fitness tests. But they're starting to add a lifting aspect to it.
Oh, really?
So one of them is like, I think the trap bar deadlift is one of them. You have to do your body weight or something.
Yeah, it's like body weight for so many reps, correct, or something.
Which makes sense. That's a good way to go about it, I think.
That's exactly what the gentleman I'm speaking of said.
Okay.
And there's something else. You have to be able to run a mile in so much time. Like, they're actually putting it together, if I remember right. It's pretty interesting stuff.
And on a side note, our hero just showed up with our amazing, should-be sponsor, Duck Donuts.
Did you just bring Duck Donuts?
Duck Donuts.
God,
she secretly texted me earlier, and I gave her a go. So that's awesome. So, well, speaking of...
So we're going to pause them.
Yeah.
They're still warm.
By the way, if you haven't been to a Duck Donuts, you should.
You're right. They should sponsor us.
Have you had Duck Donuts yet, Ken?
We literally just drink whiskey and eat Duck Donuts.
I don't really eat donuts or anything like that. I don't have a sweet tooth at all.
Oh, you don't?
No.
What's
You
wrong
want to
with
try
you?
some?
So now that you're,
He's like, nah, give me steak.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that you're,
take the big box.
You've been about a year out of the Marines, you said?
About a year and 2 months.
Holy cow! Okay.
Wow.
So when you transition back to normal life here, how much weight have you put? If you're able to talk about it, how much weight have you put back on? And is it all because of the strongman and powerlifting stuff, or just naturally because you're doing a lot less activity?
Well, I got out. I was sitting around 260. That's what I normally weighed.
Oh, okay.
I was like in my unit around 260. But I started getting into powerlifting about as I was transitioning out. To get like 2 months of transition out, so I started gaining weight there, But then I was still running 3 miles a day when I was doing that. But then as soon as I got out, I stopped running. Like flat out stopped running. So I put on a lot of weight, like really fast.
Yep.
But
well, someone your size, I feel like running that's got to be hard. Like on your knees and hips and everything, right?
Yeah, it's hard on the knees and stuff, but it's good for everything else.
For sure.
Like I put it on really fast. It was like 4 or 5 months. I would put on 60 pounds.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That fast?
I'm sure that all the aerobic conditioning really helped out with the hypertrophy, too.
Probably. Yeah. So with that, once you stopped running, did you totally change essentially how you train? Like once you started prepping for did you do deadlifts and everything while you were in? Did you do bench, squats? Like how did that look?
I started doing like deadlifts and kind of powerlifting probably about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And then as I was starting to transition out, I started doing straight powerlifting with a little bit of the cardio.
Yeah.
But as soon as I got out, it was straight powerlifting until I got into Strongman, which was like 7 months ago.
Oh, wow.
Started doing Strongman stuff.
Okay. Well, who got you into Strongman then?
Well, I've always like watched strongman, like TV and stuff growing up, and then like Carmen Pata did it when he coached me in college.
Yeah.
But then when I finally did find a job after getting out, I knew where I was about to live. I Google searched strongman gyms in that area, so it came up as Ironworks. So I went there, and then I met Ulyss, he's been doing strongman for like 5 or 6 years or something like that.
And he's the pain trained coach, right?
Yeah, so he does training with all the different kind of people. But I went there and I was working out for like 5 months or so, and then I finally was like, Ulyss, you gotta teach me how to do strongman, because I just got bored with powerlifting. You know, like the 3 main lifts, and then you're just working around that. Where strongman, you're doing something different every day.
Yeah, and I think you nailed it on the head. It's almost like strongman's like the CrossFit of big men, or like big powerful people,
like
right?
CrossFit,
It's like
for men.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what we got from watching the strongman meet last week, right?
Yeah, that was just anarchy, and it was awesome.
And for you, you said you've only been, powerlifting essentially when you started for not a very long time, right? Like your deadlift, I mean, I don't know where you started, but to be going for an 805 in the end of September, maybe you started not too much before that. How fast did that rise for you?
That went really fast. My deadlift, since I started doing it, has always been really good for me.
Okay.
Like, I hit 585 just before I got out.
Yeah.
So it went a few hundred pounds within a year.
Tremendous increase.
Wow.
But that was a lot of just like learning technique and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So I had the muscle there. It was just getting the technique right and doing all that stuff.
So you got a lot bigger, a lot faster. How did that affect your deadlift? Like getting into positions and things like that. Did you notice any of that?
No, I never really noticed any of that, but it was also I didn't know what I was doing to begin with. So it was like I was still learning, which I still am still learning, but I didn't recognize it like being hard or anything because I just didn't know what I was doing before.
I gotcha.
So
That's one thing you see. I struggle with it. I'm about 6'3", 285. And there's times I'm still trying to get into my positions. I'm more of an Olympic weightlifter, but now when I deadlift, I just suck at it. Not comfortable getting in a position. So sometimes you see some of those guys are so big and wide, they almost do like a clean deadlift. They pull from the ground in a squat position, but it works. Can't argue with it.
yeah, I asked Ulyss actually last week to make me a new program, and he was like, I'm going to work with you on your deadlift too because your form isn't where it should be. I was like, all right.
All right.
And if you're going to help me, that's great. Because I still want to get the 805. I haven't attempted it since then.
Well, the impressive thing is last week at the Strongman competition, you and I forget his name now. Mitch from North Dakota were the only two doing reps at 705 or 700 even?
It was 700, something like that.
I mean, you got what, 6? He got 5 or something
I
like that?
got 5, he got 4.
Which, honestly, your reps didn't look too half bad. Like, they weren't like you were rounding over like that. Because you also you didn't touch and go. You stopped and did which was different than most competitors. Because a lot of them were doing the touch and goes to get the momentum going. And watching your form, you would stop and then recoil. It was pretty impressive that you stopped every time.
That's just always the way I've trained, is just you stop and do a full deadlift. I've never really done touch and goes before. When we found out that you could do touch and goes, like another guy that Ulyss trains, Matt Williamson, was there. He did touch and goes. I don't remember how many reps he got, but he was a lightweight, so it's kind of
You don't
different.
care.
They don't matter.
I mean, that's a warm-up weight, so it's not a big deal.
I think for some people it might like actually tire them out. Like you think about that time under tension, and you probably smoke yourself.
Yeah.
Like I know one of the competitors we talked to afterwards, and she's like, I never do touch and goes, and when I did that, I was just done. But I think that's obviously depends on the person.
But kudos to you too for kind of sticking to your training. Like we're talking.
Don't compete how you don't train.
Yeah, like Bob was talking yesterday with a lot of lifters about, they may have been questioning your technique going into a snatch or a clean and press, and he was like, listen, don't try to change your technique because you see someone else doing it a different way today. You've trained this way for a reason, and your muscle memory and your body's connected with that. Stick with what you've been doing. And so kudos to you for actually sticking with that versus all of a sudden, well, I'm going to change this up to try to, get my advantage when maybe it would have hurt you in the long run.
Well, I bring that back to when I went for the 805 deadlift.
Yeah.
So I opened up at 765, and there's an older guy there that he's been powerlifting for like 15, 20 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And he'd give me pointers once in a while. Like he helped me fix my squat, but he gave me pointers after my opener. So like it kind of got in my head that like, he's like, you need to do this and this, and I was like, so then it got in my head, and I was like, instead of just pulling, I was thinking about all these little technical things instead of just pulling the weight.
And that can be hard sometimes too, because everyone wants to give you advice, everyone wants to help you out, but like kind of like you were saying earlier, you just write your programming, but you like to train alone. You said, right? You don't like to have too much advice, probably because of those reasons. So even when it comes to a meet, I guess a lot of times you probably see so many people stay in their zone and maybe not converse so much with others. I don't know.
Well, I think that just comes with time. I've coached a lot of people, not in strongman, but weightlifting and other things, but all of a sudden they get to comp day and they're like full of anxiety trying to have the perfect day, and I'm like, just treat it like a training day, like, right? Like, you don't need to overthink it. And I think you see your best competitors, like standing and talking to you guys at that Strongman comp, the people who did well were calm, collective, joking, having fun, and not, in their head fucking worrying about every little thing. You can tell someone who's a veteran compared to a novice or rookie, because yesterday I had a bunch of lifters ask me the same question over and over. I'm like, look, what's my job? Your job is to lift the fucking weight. My job is to fucking coach. Go sit down. Like, that's how, like, all of a sudden I had to get to that. For you guys have fun. You can tell the best athletes just by their demeanor. Like, it's just another day for you guys. And that was pretty evident.
I'm still definitely a rookie. It's just, that's always been my mentality with everything. I really don't care. I'm just there to do what I do.
Yeah, exactly. Just have fun.
That's the whole reason I'm doing it, is I want to have some fun.
Fuck yeah, that's what it should be.
It's still new for you too. It's kind of fun to see where your strength takes you to. It's almost like that just farm strong. You just, okay, I'll pick this up, right? And that's what you can do.
Well, that's what the thing too is, all of a sudden if you take it too far to where all you're doing is worrying about your performance and it's not fun anymore, then why are you doing it?
The other cool thing about what you were saying, Tyler, is the one thing I really liked about the Strongman event last week was, Tim put an amazing event on, the little amount of space he had. We walked in thinking,
that was
like Nick had said,
we're like, what the hell is this?
I mean, and then the fact that he puts a great show on, but also like the camaraderie all you guys had together, I think, is a lot different than you're going to see in powerlifting or Olympic lifting, because you really are there almost encouraging each other to do so well, because you want to see you to do well, but you also want that guy does 5 reps, I'm going to do 6 to beat him, right? Which is cool to see. And then Tim was one of the most laid back, cool cats, enjoying having fun the whole time.
He had me rolling the whole day. Yeah, so much fun.
That's how if you learn how to put a meet on, just go watch that firsthand. That was really good.
That was awesome. And we actually talked about you after when you won.
Oh, that was hilarious. Everyone else out there, they all had a cheering crowd taking pictures, and then they're like, the overall champ, Ken, how do you pronounce your last name?
Kuyath.
You just walk over, they're going to go home, you take your award, and you just leave.
Well, it's funny because someone was standing in your way, and I'd be like, get the fuck out of my way. I mean, you're just like, move please.
Well, thank you. You just walk away.
Big, nice man just won his thing, and people are just standing in your way, and you politely wait.
It was classic.
It was awesome.
It was hilarious. So then you won that event last week. Congratulations, by the way. So where does that put you going forward? You're going to do some local meets. Does that put you on a national competitor meet? Where does that kind of give you the access to go forward?
I think the next one I'm going to be doing is nationals, because that was a qualifier for nationals, obviously. But I haven't really. I looked at maybe doing another one, but there hasn't been any like around here between that time. So
well, stay tuned for the Torque Barbell Open. It's coming.
When is national?
It's
May
June.
and June.
Okay, this summer.
And where's it at? Do you know?
Columbus.
Oh, it is.
So it'll be a little trip, but
that'd be worth it, though. I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you have anyone else in your gym that you would go there with to compete as well, or just be yourself right now?
Right now it's just me, because like I said, Matt Williamson was there, but I don't think he got like 5th or 6th.
Okay.
And then Ulyss, I don't think he's doing much strongman for a while. He said he's going to take some time off and work on like losing a little weight, getting healthier.
Yep.
But yeah, for my gym, there's not really any other people that are at that level, I guess.
And do you train? You said you like to train alone, but do you ever collaborate and train with any strongmen in like Los or any other areas, like the guy Mitch, maybe at North Dakota last week? You ever go with those guys at all, or?
Not really. When I train, like Ulyss is always there, then that Matt and then a couple other guys are always there. It's just I'm always in like my own little corner.
Yeah.
Like I'll joke around with them a little bit, but I'm more. I like being my.
Absolutely, yeah. You have to be in that mindset. You have to be in that mindset to probably push yourself to the extreme weights you have to do. I imagine you were probably doing reps at a lot more weight than 700 for prep for that meet or not?
I've normally stuck around 700.
You did okay.
But I never got 5 with that. I think I got a triple. It was the best I did. So I was actually really surprised I got 5.
Yeah. I'm guessing part of that was just the intensity you overcame yourself when you knew that you were live on the Iron Huddle Facebook page. You'll go over.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That was probably a big part of it. When it comes to competition time for me, I'm less in my head than I am like during training. I'm always overthinking stuff.
Yeah, which is huge to have that ability to turn that off too.
I wish I could do that during training, but it's just I overthink everything.
Yeah.
Do you take a lot of time and do you videotape a lot of your lifts to like self-critique and watch your technique and stuff, or is that you go more by feel? Or
well, I videotape pretty much my top like 2 or 3 lifts.
Okay.
Like as far as heavy goes, just to like have a look at what I'm doing and stuff.
Sure.
But I go like for how much weight I'm doing, I go off how I'm feeling that day.
Okay.
Because it changes a lot based on like what I do for work and how I'm feeling from the day before or whatever.
So are you doing a lot of, I guess, self-regulating if you have the, or auto-regulating, however they kind of call that now, but they have like, let's say Ulyss gives you a program and you're supposed to be, I guess, log pressing 350 for 3 that day. If you feel great, are you going to go to 370, or if you feel bad, are you going to stay at 305? Is that what you're talking about, kind of? Or?
Well, the way he programs it for me is he just does log press 3 reps. So then
you can come up with the weight.
So yeah, he doesn't tell me what weight to do because he knows like he's been around me long enough. I know like where to push it to get there.
There's no percentages or any of that crap?
Nope, just
thank goodness,
based off of feel.
Okay.
Well, I think it's happening more. You really talk to your better athletes who've been training a long time. That's how most people train. You have to have self-regulation.
Ones, I mean, that's where everybody should go eventually, is to auto-regulated state. I think it's probably the best way to train, but it's also advanced as well, I think.
For sure. You have someone who's green, you can kind of, have to push them to get them where they need to go. But
the younger guys that he trains, he definitely tells them, like, you should go this weight today.
Yep.
He's, like, more hands-on with, I think it might be the personalities, too, because, like, I don't really like talking to people that much. I kind of just do my own thing, so he just leaves me alone. But so like he'll tell them what to do each day as they come in, whereas I just come in like he asks me what I'm doing, I'll just tell him, hey, I'm doing logs today. He's like, all right, cool. He's always there to watch, but he doesn't really.
But there's probably more, like, that goes back to me and Nick talk about this all the time is, what's your purpose for that day or whatever that movement may be. And if it's getting better at the log press and feeling something, okay, rather than, well, I got to hit fucking 75% for 5 and then I got to do this. And then you're only worried about reaching that goal rather than what the actual purpose of that lift was.
It's a totally different mental approach, and it can dry you out real quick, when you're always going in there trying to hit a certain number, the number that's on the paper. It doesn't become about that anymore, it kind of messes with your head.
What helps with that too is a lot of times when you go in there to get better at what your intent is that day, I think it really accelerates your accessories. Because if you just hit a great bench or even if you had a bad day, whatever it happens, in either way, if you then take all that drive in your accessories and you're just driving the crap out of your triceps, no one's going to get you that lockout on your bench. I mean, that just really drives up all the intent that you put in your core work that day, I think. So it's hand in hand.
For sure. You have to have self-regulation. You got to find a win for the day. If all of a sudden you're going to pout like a little bitch because you didn't hit your fucking snatch that day, okay, go.
Sounds like you have a lot of anger with your lifters.
Because I hate people full of anxiety. So, if you all of a sudden find a win for the day, no matter what it is, okay, you didn't hit the snatch. What's a weakness?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go tackle it.
Well, like the win for the day kind of is similar to like what Mark Bell always talks about in, get a PR in something you've never done before. Mm-hmm. Try something new. Like hopefully taking you through the strong fit stuff today, you're going to get a PR in a sandbag squat because you've never done it before.
He's never done it before.
Yeah. Boom. Right there. So it's good with that. So do you know yet? Probably not. It's a little far out right now. What events are going to be at the Arnold or the Ohio Nationals?
Yeah, they actually already have it posted.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, it's axle deadlift. With
normal
wagon
deadlift?
On wagon wheels. Axle.
Oh, really? So is that a higher pull? Are you pulling from like right below your knees then? Or?
I think it was a 13-inch.
13-inch, okay.
13?
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's mid shin, knee.
Is that the same as an axle pull?
Right? Like a real thick bar too?
Yeah, it's like 2.5 inch bar.
So will you get a similar one like that in Iron City Works, or?
They got axles there. Lots of use go off blocks to simulate it. But,
sure.
I mean, that's pretty much the same thing.
But like the size of that 2.5 barbell, do they have anything like that there, or just kind of wait till you get there that day?
I think they got 2 axles there. They're like 2 inches.
Okay.
But with straps, that isn't a huge difference.
Okay.
Because you can use straps. But I think the biggest thing for me is for training, they got a sandbag over bar.
Oh, okay.
I still haven't figured out how I'm going to train that because I haven't seen them with like the sandbags they use.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Really?
How big is the sandbag? You know?
It's got to be close to 400 now. No?
Over the bar, like you got to throw it like 50 feet up.
Oh, I was thinking just shoulder over the bar. Oh, okay. Yeah,
They have a sandbag that carry and then you got to drag it.
Yeah.
Those ones are 300.
So this is throwing over.
Is that like a kettlebell swing kind of motion?
Yeah.
And then over, up and over? Okay.
That's Adam Dirks was showing us last week how he had his dad shoveled off a piece of his yard so Adam could train vlog throws and over a tree or something.
Oh, yeah, they put like a wire across trees. It's awesome.
Cool.
That's probably what we're going to have to do, something like that.
Yeah. So the sandbag toss, then what else?
And then there's a carry and drag. It's 2 sandbags you carry, put in a sled, and drag the sled. So it's 2 300-pound sandbags.
I think it's always cool in that carry and drag when they have the big, the ship, what do you call that? You carry the big...
the anchor?
The anchor, the ship anchor.
Yeah.
That just looks cool to have, different components and whatnot.
Yeah, I think it's just a sled. I haven't really researched that too much.
You
have to do a sled drag, that's what it is?
Yep. So you throw the sandbags in the sled and then you drag it.
Oh, okay. So you probably got to get a multiple... I'm guessing it's more than just one sandbag you're putting in there?
It's 2 sandbags.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And each weighs 300 pounds?
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
And then 600-pound drag.
Yeah. Wow, so that's 3 events. You know what the other ones are?
A log press.
Okay.
325.
Yeah.
So not too terrible.
And is that one, do you know, are you pulling it from the ground or is it stationary where you just press it from like your shoulders?
It's
something
clean.
different. It is, okay.
Yeah, it's just like the one in Minneapolis was.
Yep.
You got to clean it and then you press it as many times as you can.
Okay. And you seem like you were pretty successful at that as well. I mean, that seems like something that you probably worked on quite a bit.
Yeah, I've decent overhead presser.
Yeah.
I didn't really like that log, but...
Yeah, what did you like about it?
The handles were like, they're skinnier.
Oh, they were.
So they're like different grip, and then it was longer than like the normal logs that I trained with.
I got you. And
so
I feel
the bounce is a little different.
Yeah, and I imagine being like 2 feet from your fans might have been a little squishy if that son of a bitch fell.
Little kids and people looking deep in your eyes.
Yeah. Well, Tim put himself right in danger way too. Tim's knees were going to take.
It was just like down. Just nodding his hands down.
Yeah, I was watching the one when I failed that, and like I had to jump back so I didn't hit Tim with it. It got close to him.
Jeez, that's it was. We were talking small space, but he put a good meat on to have all that done right there. But the cool thing was like the crowd just gathered around. It made it seem like there were much more people there. Yeah, it was really cool. So any other events? I know it kind of put you in the spot, making you think about all of them right now. But you're a scientist, aren't you? What do you do for work again?
Microbiologist.
Yeah, you're a smart guy.
Trying to think what else the other one is.
Is maybe a stone load at the end or something like that?
No, there's no stones.
Okay. The only thing, real quick, sorry to jump in. The only thing I wish I would have done was have you and Mitch do the stones or the loaded carry, whatever it was, at the very end, last head-to-head.
Yeah.
That would have been cool because they had you go at the end where it's like, that's kind of lame. That'd be cool. You guys would, kind of, if you would have had a chance to beat you, if you would have won or whatever, because I think you're pretty close to points.
Well, they didn't have enough equipment. Is that what it was?
Oh, maybe that's why. That's probably why.
Yeah, but you're right. They probably that would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah,
that
would be cool.
Well, the best part was Nick over here was receiving those.
Mitch about fucking killed me. He didn't even touch the bar.
Yeah, he just like, take this cake.
I think he's trying to throw him through your chest with his eye, his bullseye.
Fuck this guy.
So, like, going forward for you now then, are you having... Do you have any sights set on powerlifting meets still, whether it's push or pull, or do you squat much at all too, or not really train for that?
I do squats, but I have a little, like, it's mental for me where I don't really like getting under that much weight, like having it on my back.
Okay.
So I've gone up to 675, but that was a rough day for me.
Is it? Okay.
Because it was a mental thing for me. So
Yeah.
I doubt I'll do a full powerlifting meet just because of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe overcome it later in life too. You never know. But I mean, even putting 675 in your back is bearing fairly
quite a
new to
feat.
that. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
You've got a whole country the size of your back too to put it on. It's not like it's a little area. So going forward, like, do you have any goals that you kind of you have in your mind that you kind of want to hit as far as this meet obviously coming up? But are there goals in terms of weight that you want to hit, whether it's an 800-pound plus deadlift or overhead on 3, something like that, or it does not matter to you as long as you're just making progress?
Well, I still want that 800 deadlift.
Yeah.
I mean, I stopped training for it. I was more going for like reps.
Yep.
That's what I've been doing, but I really want to get that. I think I have it in me. I need to get back to training for it. A couple like 450 bench. Kind of want to hit that because I've been stuck at 425 for almost a year now. And
Do you do any like block work or the slingshot or like floor presses a lot, or?
I do block once in a while.
And you got long arms too for being,
Yeah. Pretty much all my long legs and long arms.
Ladies, listen up. But okay, so 450 bench. Anything else kind of overhead at all, or?
I mean, I'd love to get a 400 log, but like my max right now is 350 or 360, something like that. So that's longer term.
Yeah, that's good though. Even to have those in sight.
So what's like a week of training kind of look like for you? Kind of template it out.
So Mondays I do some type of carry, like a yoke or farmers or frame.
Okay.
Then I do like legs work with that too, like some type of squat.
So hold on a sec, to the yokes and the frame carries, what kind of weight are you normally doing every Monday on that? Is it getting up pretty heavy, like 800 pounds, or is it below that?
For yoke, I normally go up to about 800.
Okay, so a light day.
How long of a run is that? Like 20 yards? 40? Longer?
At my gym, I normally go 50 feet.
Okay.
I think that's how long it is.
Okay.
And then like for this one, we had to drop and turn around, so I'd drop and turn around and do that a couple times. So like for the farmers, I normally go up to about 320, just so it's a little heavier than what competition weight was. And I haven't done frame since I competed in Fargo. Like we did 650 and 750, I think was the weights. But
how did you and Fargo meet, by the way?
I tied for third.
Okay.
But then they did a countback, so then I ended up in fourth because the guy beat me in one of the events.
Oh, okay.
So you got first in
Was
one.
that the first meet you ever done, or one
Yeah,
of the first?
that was the first one.
Nice.
But
Sorry, cut you off. What are you doing?
right, so
What are you doing Tuesdays?
Tuesdays, overhead press day.
Okay.
So like one week I'll do a log, next week I'll do barbell.
Is it always in front of your face, or is that behind the neck at all? Or?
I've always done it in front of my face.
Okay.
Elis might program behind the back because he does that sometimes.
But you don't care what he says.
Well, I listen to what his program says, and then I just, however I feel that day, that's what I do.
Yeah.
And then that's also when I do like my bench work and triceps and stuff like that. And then Wednesday, it's a rest day for me.
Okay.
And then Thursday, I do deadlifts.
Now, when you're doing deadlifts on Thursday, do you have a bunch of accessory stuff, or you do like a 2-3 hour workout of just deadlifts?
Well, so I'll have like the main deadlift either off the ground or blocks or deficit deadlifts or whatever.
Absolutely.
And then you normally programs either like trap bar or like snatch grip deadlifts, something like that.
Okay.
So I'm doing a lot of accessories with it.
So is that all in one day, or are you switching up the style of deadlift you're doing every week?
So I do I switch up the style every week.
Okay.
So I'll do like, it's either deficit, block, or regular deadlift.
And how high a block do you normally go off of when you do those? Like 13 inch for this coming
Yeah,
off?
it's around there. It's like just below the knee.
Sure.
And that's normally my better days because I don't know why, but I get pretty heavy.
Finish out. And then I was going to ask on those, you're probably obviously doing more on the block pulls, but on your regular deficits or the other styles, is the weight all about the same, or does it change based upon the style you're doing?
Well, deficits, you got to go down a little bit.
Yep.
I still get up mid 600s
Sure.
for that, for a few reps.
My God.
But
Yeah, fuck. I'd break.
I don't know. I have something like it's mental for me where I want to go as heavy as possible every single day. So I have people telling me I should probably take a day, like go lighter or whatever, but I always go as heavy as I can for that day.
Yeah.
So I'm normally end up around 700. What's that?
You Bulgarian?
German.
Just wondering.
Just basically the same.
Same thing. Yeah, programming. So is Friday a day off? Are you going pretty heavy on Fridays or Saturdays too? Or?
Friday's another day off.
Okay.
And then Saturdays I do mostly just like leg accessory type stuff.
Oh, okay.
I don't do an event, just I'll normally do like some type of squat and then other type of leg stuff.
Okay. And how big a emphasis do you put on core work? I mean, your core's getting involved in everything you do for Strongman and everything. Do you ever take a day and like you're probably not going to see your abs pop out like the rest of us, maybe Nick, but do you put an emphasis on core at all for you, whether it's your back or your abs and all that stuff, just for stability wise?
Not really. I mean, it goes into like pretty much everything you do.
Sure.
Like overhead, you have to have your like focus on your core being tight.
Yep.
Same with like any type of carry.
Yep.
So I don't really focus on it too much.
Okay. And then as far as your deadlift, for you, what are your mental cues that you put yourself through when you're going? Can you kind of explain your setup, where your feet are, where your back position is? Kind of like some listeners that may want to know like what your style is versus someone else's. Kind of like what are your mental cues? Don't you want to give all your secrets away, but for you, what works best?
I don't really have a whole ton of mental cues. I just know how it feels.
Okay.
When I learned it, just wasn't.
Yeah.
I didn't have like a coach or anything. I just went in there and started doing it.
Yeah.
Like watching YouTube videos and stuff.
Sure.
So I know where my feet need to be is like right where the knurling starts.
Okay.
And I go a little bit outside of that for my hand position.
Okay.
Other than that, it's just
Pick and
Rip
pull.
and rip, baby.
Wow, that's impressive. So you mentioned some of the YouTube videos you watch. Is there anyone in particular that you like to watch and follow for tips or motivation, just kind of get you in the right mindset at all? They're all over?
For like trying to learn, like Brian Alzeru.
Yeah.
I watch Brian Shaw.
Sure.
I used to watch a lot of Mark Bell.
Yep.
I don't know, he's kind of gotten away from the actual lifting type stuff.
Yeah, he's a
lately.
bodybuilder. It's a good-looking guy now. Yeah.
So I kind of haven't watched him too much lately.
Have you watched any Martins Lisa stuff recently? No. He's got a lot of he's got the whole 8 weeks out from Yarn he's done every week, kind of a couple of vids. It's pretty entertaining because he tries to be funny on it, or sometimes he doesn't try to be funny, but either way, it's pretty entertaining. But he's kind of like you. He goes in there, he just lifts these crazy amount of weights, and sometimes I feel like he just does it. It's incredible. But he's also big into like stretching and whatnot. Are you pretty big into stretching and mobility wise, or again, it just comes natural for you?
I used to do yoga. I haven't done it in a couple months.
Really? Was this at home or in front of people?
No, my friend is a yoga instructor in Hudson, so I'd go to her classes.
Okay, I see.
So she was kind of, it wasn't quite as embarrassing. 330-pound guy around all these skinny women.
Yeah, well, I'd show up for that too. We're in. So were you pretty, do you have good mobility? I mean, were you able to, or is it a struggle for you, I guess?
There's some things that are a struggle.
Yeah.
Because like there's some things that are just too big, which is why I like having her around, because there's some positions like she'd see me struggling and be like, you're just not going to be able to do it. So do this way instead.
Sit on the chair. Yeah. Well, it's funny because if you know who Diamond Dallas Page is at all, the old wrestler, his DDP yoga is taken off. And he starts as little as some of his motivational videos. He has these, ex-Marines or whatever who are kind of, I think they had knee issues or paralyzed or in their back. Not paralyzed, but he's really bad injuries over the years. And he has them starting out on a chair doing different movements. And all a year later, they're like running sprints in miles. They're lost 100 pounds. So I think a lot of his stuff is time and retention. A lot of the holds they do for yoga too. I'm no... I guess I don't know a whole lot about yoga, but just seeing the progress, it can help. It'd probably be good for me to do something like that once in a while.
It definitely helps. Unfortunately, like our schedules didn't line up, and I was still a little uncomfortable doing that in front of most people. So
I can imagine.
Kudos to you. I don't think all three of us wouldn't show up to a place like
many times. And so I was like,
So what size Lululemon pants did you have to wear? That's the important.
Hey, I wear Lululemon. They're fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, Nick has some on right now.
I'm head to toe right now.
Oh yeah. You got an ambassador that you know.
Yeah, he has to. His old lady works there.
Yeah. Pretty good. So where are we at this?
Let's talk about nutrition a little bit. I guess I'm always the little guy hanging out with these two, and I'd like to know how you put on, over 100 pounds? since you left the
About
Marines?
60 or 70 pounds, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be carried away, Nick.
So, I mean, are you you talked about dieting a little bit to get down. Are you doing the same thing to get back up, or are you just doing the seafood diet, or what's it like?
Well, I'm pretty strict about like my lunches and my breakfast. I always have like about 2 cups of egg whites and orange juice for breakfast. And then lunches, I meal prep. So I have 2 breaks. First break, I have a banana and like a protein shake. Then second lunch, or my actual lunch, I'll have either like a cup of rice or sweet potato, and then either a pound of chicken or a pound of fish. Yeah, it's
Nice.
About 90 grams of protein right there. Solid.
And then after I get off, I have like a peanut butter jelly sandwich, something before I go work out, just a quick snack. And then at the end of the night, I'll have some type of beef or something. I've gotten into, I can't remember what the actual company's called, but they deliver meat to you.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they got a lot of elk and bison.
Is it like a local farm in the area, or is
No,
it
it's
actually
from Montana.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
So like last night I had bison burgers for dinner.
That's great. Is it decently affordable, or is it a little more expensive because you're paying for the higher quality?
So it's like $300 for 30 pounds.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's about a month for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saves you a trip to the cities and Costco and stuff.
Well, there's a nice butcher in River Falls.
Oh.
At Family Fresh. I go there for
Sure.
that's where I get my chicken and fish and
Okay.
stuff. Because I have to buy that. I buy that weekly just because
Yeah.
I don't want to deliver all that fish and stuff too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So are you spending your Sundays doing your food prep too, or kind of how do you go about that for yourself?
I base it off like what my schedule is for the weekend.
Okay.
So like I had this today, so I did it all yesterday.
Okay.
And sometimes I'll do it Fridays, just however I'm feeling
Sure.
after work.
Yeah.
But,
Get a little wild Friday night going.
Meal prep, light a candle, make a night of it.
Bit of red wine.
Little REO Speedway goes on. So very cool. Then are you didn't bring any free samples in, did you? You get to see what you're tasting. You made it Friday. So what's your so you're not huge into sweets. You said we had some duck donuts delivered, and you wouldn't even look at them. So you just don't have a sweet tooth. You just kind of stay on that
envious of
that game. Yeah, that's a lot of good for you.
I just I've never really liked like really sugary stuff. Like even when I was a kid, they'd have dessert and I'd have fruit instead.
Yeah.
So like,
You mentioned your bananas and whatnot, and
Yeah.
apples, so kind of your simple sugars.
it was never like I should stay away from that stuff. It was just I don't really like it. So
Yeah. Good.
like even for my birthdays, I'd get a cake. I wouldn't even eat it.
You're one of those.
Tony's mad right now.
I know. I'm like, I just crushed like 4 slices of cheesecake last night because I'm addicted to it.
Well, that's actually better because I imagine if you did have the sugar cravings, you'd probably be about 30 pounds heavier too, to be honest. I mean, just because you're going to be like us and you see something, like Nick's talking about the seafood diet, you see it and you eat it. So good for you. So how about recovery-wise? Like you take such a beating in a lot of these movements you're doing in lifts. Are you a big hot, cold tub guy? I mean, what's kind of like your recovery? Or you're just playing your Madden or sitting home watching Judge Judy? What do you like to do?
I do a little bit of stretching and then like foam roller stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I used to do yoga, but
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a while. Other than that, I don't really do a whole lot.
Okay, it's great. Yeah.
Just relax.
Yeah. Everyone's different.
Yeah, I think that comes back from the Marines. Because when I played college football, we used to do hot tubs and cold tubs.
Yes,
all the time.
exactly. That's what our experience is. Yeah.
But then the Marines just kind of just suck it up and go. So I kind of got that mentality now.
Okay. Which is a lot of it too when you think about kind of where you're at in your whole lifting process and where you're going. I'm guessing a lot of the mentality you were kind of demanded from yourself and what they demanded from you probably came from that Marines background is you're going to get it done or there's no other excuse, right?
Yeah, that's part of it. But I've also just, since I like doing it so much, I never really have trouble motivating myself.
There you go.
I just enjoy it. So.
Okay. So what's the end goal for you in all this? Do you feel like, is the World's Strongest Man ever going to be a possibility perhaps, or do you not care if you ever get there, or you just right now enjoy doing it? Kind of where's your mindset?
Right now, I mean, I'd love to go to World's Strongest Man stuff, but I don't really see it as being like, it might not be attainable because I started so late.
Okay.
But if I get there, I get there.
Yeah.
Just trying to see where I can go with it right now because I'm still haven't even been doing it for years.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I was just, you talked with Brian Charles. I was watching one of his videos, and he was telling people that asked, if he thought his best years were behind him or this or that. And he had brought up when he was a young guy, he'd always talk to the veterans and ask them when they thought they were their strongest. And they thought when they were, they said right then and there when they're in their late 30s or early 40s. And some of the guys now that are still going, like Terry Hollins or who's Mark Felix, I think. I guess if you're doing everything right, you may have a long career in this if you stay healthy.
Yeah, well, I've read some studies where like men get their peak muscle performance mid-30s or mid-30s.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I'm so far behind already because I'm the same age as Brian Shaw and Thor and all them.
Okay.
So they're deadlifting over 1,000 pounds, and I'm not even 800 yet.
Well, if you get the right vitamins, you might catch up off you fast too. Take a trip to Iceland with him and Larry Wheels, you might get a lot of strength real fast.
If I could get on Larry Wheels' back, I'd
Oh God.
Yeah, have you watched any of that stuff? By the way, they're collaborating. It's pretty.
It's insane.
I've seen a couple of their videos.
Yeah.
Stuff.
But even watching him struggle with not struggle, but just feeling out the first kind of times he's doing a log press and the vertical grip or even the stone to shoulder. Even seeing him struggle at first, and now 3 weeks later he's a pro at it. It's crazy how fast he just kind of comes along with all that stuff. Probably a lot like you doing those game movements.
Well, a lot of it is you have your base strength. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing Ulyss was talking about when I showed up. He's like, you'll be good right away because you have so much strength already built up. So the first time I did log, I did 300 log.
Wow.
Yeah, he was just like, we'll see where your max is. He just threw out 300 at the end of when he was teaching me. So it was
sure.
It's just for him, his strength's already there, so it's easier for him to get used to it.
Okay. Well, then you're a college athlete, so you're probably really coachable. So you've been coached your whole life, so that goes a long way.
And the Marines probably help take you too.
Just yelled at.
It's a different type of coaching.
Yeah. Even though now it sounds like you just want your program and leave me alone, going to the corner.
Well, that's kind of the way I was in the Marines too.
Oh, okay.
We did our unit PTs and stuff, but I normally would just hang out by myself on the runs and stuff. They'd all be in formation. I'd be at the back just kind of doing my thing.
Well, you're also 230, and they're probably about 170, right?
150-ish.
Okay.
I was always, after doing our height and weights, I was always 40 pounds heavier than the next guy.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah.
So how about pull-ups? Were pull-ups big when you guys did back then? Do you struggle with those? You're pretty good at those because your butt's so big.
Pretty good.
Okay.
My last physical fitness tests, I got 23 pull-ups.
Damn, holy shit, in a row?
Yeah, I probably could have done more, but that was the max to get there. So I just stopped.
Damn.
And hopped off, but
Yeah, and were you around the same weight you're sitting at now? Are you 330 or so? Or?
Well, that was back when it was 260.
Oh, okay.
That's still 260 and 23 pull-ups? Man, that's pretty legit.
Wow. It's impressive.
I definitely had to work at that because when I went to boot camp, I was doing 7 or something.
Oh, yeah. But that just shows you, the dedication, consistency you put in over training, how it pays off over years. And again, you put yourself at 260 doing that many pull-ups, I'm sure some of those guys at lighter weights probably weren't even close to kind of what you were pulling at that time, too.
Yeah, I think the average would be around 15 pull-ups.
So you're above average, especially for 260, though.
Yeah. For me, I was always pretty high up on the PT scores.
Okay.
So I never really struggled with it. My run was never really good because we did a 3-mile run after that.
Okay.
But for 260, I was still doing it 22 minutes.
Gotcha.
Which isn't too bad.
Yeah.
So with everything going on in the future, do you ever think you'll find yourself, whether it's for health reasons or just because you get back into it, do you think you ever start running again? And if you do, if you end up wanting to lose weight, is that the way you're going to go about it, is running? Or what do you think? You just don't ever want to do it again because you did so much of it?
Probably won't be straight running, but maybe I would like to not be so fat, So maybe do some type of cardio more of it. Because I do 5-10 minutes on elliptical to warm up and stuff.
Sure.
Might just do more of that.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's a little easier on the joints.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, you're not fat, but you're just really strong. You have all the muscle built up for all the necessary foundation you need to move that weight. If you're doing reps at 300-pound log presses and like you're saying, the loaded carries and the deadlifts and all that, there's a lot of strength and movement that has to happen. So you almost have to be that big, right? Look at who we were talking about earlier. He just pulled the biggest deadlift 2 years ago.
Is it Thor?
Eddie Hall.
Eddie Hall.
Like, he put all that weight on, and then you see in that documentary on him, he knows if he didn't lose weight, he was going to die. He's damn near 400 pounds, wasn't he?
I think he was over 400.
Yeah,
Oh, was he?
Yeah, I think he was like 420.
Okay.
And he's only like, what, 6'1"?
I think he's 6'3".
Is he 6'3"? Okay. He's much shorter than the other guys, and he was 400-something pounds. Yeah.
I did have, since I gained weight so fast, like, I think it was July, like I was having some pretty bad health problems.
Really?
But it was like, I developed sleep apnea, and then, like, going with not being able to sleep, too. I was having problems with my throat and esophagus stuff, but, so, like, because I didn't put it on healthy enough.
Sure.
It got too bad, so then I was able to taper it back down to where I'm decently healthy now. I still have I still wear my sleep apnea mask and stuff.
So has that helped a lot with your sleeping too in recovery as far as workouts go and stuff? Or even a day at work, I imagine?
Yeah, because before I'd be in bed for 9 hours, but I'd sleep for about 2 of it.
Jesus, yeah.
Because I'd be waking up every 10, 15 minutes.
And did you go to one of those overnight stays at the doctor where they would measure that for you? Did you figure out that at your home, or how do they figure that out?
Well, it took me a couple months to do it, but because I went to a normal doctor, and she gave me sleeping pills, which didn't really help much because I'd fall asleep and I'd be waking up and stuff. So then I went to a sleep specialist. The first thing he told me was to stop taking the sleeping pills because probably the worst thing you can do with sleep apnea. But then he gave me like a take-home thing. You put it on, you wear it to sleep.
Oh, shit.
And it measures your breathing because you got like tubes going in your nose.
Oh, shit.
So they figured out my breathing was stopping about, 120 times an hour.
Holy cow.
So,
that's not fun to hear. Yeah,
that's scary.
Wow. Yeah.
So, I finally got the sleep apnea machine. It took me a while to get used to it, but then my health got so much better.
I was gonna say, you probably lost some weight just doing that alone, huh?
Yeah.
Or got stronger as well?
Well, so I got ballooned up because I was getting fat and bloated and stuff from the sleep apnea. I got up to like 345.
Wow.
Then I tapered it back down to about 330.
There you go, okay.
So I'm sitting around 330, 335 now.
But you feel much more comfortable and healthy versus the solid 345 you were at, probably unhealthier.
Yeah, I'm definitely a lot healthier now. It's because I was still gaining muscle, but like I wasn't as fat and bloated as I was. And, like I had friends making fun of me because they said I looked like a thumb because my head was all blown out and bloated. It was like,
that's why you have no friends right now, right? Just, they open their mouths and then you're not friends.
I prefer friends like that. I'll give it straight.
Well, welcome to the party then.
I was going to say, you get that here. Yeah. This definitely seems to be a Minnesota thing. We're passive aggressive, but then it's in a very bad way.
I was going to ask you, do you have a nickname? Your friends call you, like, you're talking about how crabby are you? Want to say Crabby Ken? Just let him work out in the corner? Or like, do you have a nickname to call you at all? A couple you don't want to say?
Well,
you can say it.
For now, they just call me Big Ken.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like, in the Marines, though, they call me like Pop or Old Man or whatever because I was 29 and everybody else was 19. So I've had a few nicknames through the years, but
Big Ken's the one you like.
Well, that's the current one. So
excited to hear what comes next. So, anything else you guys got? I guess.
No, I think the huge thing is, like you said, kind of looking at where you want to take it, and with that, let's say you don't make. Let's say in a few years you maybe get bored of strongman or powerlifting or whatever. Have you kind of thought about an end game at all?
Well, yeah, I've kind of considered it because there's eventually I'm just not going to be able to do it because my body won't be able to handle it. To where I'll still want to work out just to like try to stay healthy. But so it won't be like trying to deadlift 800 pounds. It'll just be trying to live longer, be healthier, enjoy life still. So eventually I'll stop doing all this crazy stuff and just do a normal workout type thing. But.
So with that, sorry to interrupt you, with that, like as long as you are making momentum, you're having a great time, your lifts are going up, your body's healthy, you're enjoying it, what's your family's response and your friends' response been? Because they probably always knew you were strong and stuff, but to see the numbers you're pulling, do they even fathom what you're doing? Do they love it? Do they kind of not know what's it been like for them?
Well, my parents,
did you tell them about it?
My parents have been to almost every competition I've done.
Oh, okay.
Like push-pull and strongman stuff. they still don't really understand it, but
Okay.
they like cheering me on.
Yeah.
And most of my friends don't. They know, most of my friends are from college years,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
they knew I was strong, but
Yeah.
it's just a whole different level.
Yeah.
But yeah, like my ex, like she refused to go to the gym with me because she was like scared of what I was
really?
doing. Yeah, so
Yeah. That's probably why she's your ex.
that wasn't it, but
I think it helps when you have someone that's there to support. I mean, if you don't work out together or whatnot, just someone that understands what your interests are, what kind of, I guess motivates you in life is huge to have, cheerleader as well,
yeah,
vice versa.
she understood it. She just didn't want to see me get hurt.
Oh, okay.
Like,
But you're a big kid.
Yeah, we watched Born Strong together,
Yes.
just so she'd understand like why I do it and stuff. But I don't think she just didn't want to see me get hurt, kind of thing.
Makes sense, I guess, if there's apprehensiveness towards that. And you see some of the, I think a lot of those documentaries too, they do a good job of showing you the extremes. So, like it or not, even at that event we had that Tim put on last week at the convention center, you had the one guy, I think, tear his ACL in the log
Yeah,
place.
he definitely tore his ACL. I think his patella or his kneecap was over to the side, wasn't it? Basically, it was bad.
And then a little bit later, you had a guy who
Dropped a yoke on his foot.
on his ankle. Yeah, I think he came back. I don't know if he missed the rest of the meet or not.
I'm not sure.
It might have been just so quick that it really didn't have much of an impact till later the next day.
I had something fall on my foot the next day. It fucking hurt. So that yoke had to hurt.
Is it the Eddie Hall documentary on Netflix where they're interviewing one of his training partners or his buddy, and they're like, "What has Strongman done for you?" He's like, "Give me a fucking backache."
I remember that was Oberst.
Oh yeah. Man, those two go back and forth pretty good at it too. Oberst and Eddie Hall on the.
I love how much shit Eddie Hall talks.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
If you've seen, I gotta show you the video of him and Robert Oberst on that tour they took with Brian Shaw up in North Dakota. There, they are just at each other's throat all day long.
That's awesome.
They were rolling like stones at each other when they weren't looking. It was pretty funny.
Just big dumb animals.
It's crazy. What was I going to ask you next year, Ken? So, like longevity-wise, I think we talked about it earlier, but you want to try to get as far as you can right now, right? You want to go in. Your goal is kind of just do better at every meet you go to, right?
Yeah, just progress, see where I can go.
And this will be your first national meet coming up in June if you do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't even start doing it until after the last national, so my first chance to go.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have any sponsors you want to give a shout out to right now? Is anybody kind of on your back supporting you at all right now or not? Or?
I just picked up Cerberus Strength.
Okay.
So like I'm a strength ambassador for them.
Okay. And what's the name of this company?
Cerberus. They make like sleeves and straps and stuff like that. So yeah.
Very cool. Do you have like some code that you can give out if people
Big
go?
Ken 10, you get 10% off.
Big Ken 10.
Big Ken.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. And do you have any way for people to follow you? They want to watch your progress here on Instagram or Facebook or?
Instagram, big_Ken_Strongman.
Make sure to follow and like, folks. And then, do you in the future too? Would you ever want to? I know right now you're focused on yourself and everything, but do you ever see a future in maybe giving back and coaching at all years from now or anything like that? Or
Yeah, I really want to get into helping out with like adaptive strongman.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of that, like Miles Taylor.
yeah.
He's got cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
Does strongman.
Yeah.
I'd love to kind of help out with that, or Special Olympics or something like that.
Yeah, that's very
Good way to-
respectable. Well, Brad that was on with us recently, he's a coach for Special Olympics when it comes to strongman stuff, I think, or powerlifting.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, Brad
She'd probably be
Neitzel.
someone to reach out to.
Yeah.
I'm friends with Sherry Styles. She coaches powerlifting
Okay.
too.
Yep, absolutely.
The Southside Athletic does a lot of that too.
I think that's where Brad's up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be
That's
awesome.
very cool. Yeah, you should definitely look into that. I think you'd be, especially just your presence, even with us. Your presence walking in is kind of overwhelming. So you get in a group of people that are, you're teaching or giving information to. I think they're going to be very responsive to what you have to say, just because you have the experience A, and you're a mammoth B, and so it's going to help. But anything else you guys got?
I think we're good.
Well, this was awesome, man. Thank you very much for coming. It'd be fun to collaborate sometime and see if we can get a deadlift session in and watch you tear us apart.
Deadlift party.
Yeah, I'll end at your like 60%. So
You like whiskey?
then I'll just drink.
Well, stay tuned, folks, because we're going to go through a little Strong Fit seminar with Tyler here. He's going to go through it with Ken and kind of see the differences in mobility. You want to kind of explain before we go into this too? You'll see it probably sooner than this airs, the podcast airs. But what are you going to take him through and kind of see?
Well, I want to write down his comp that he's doing.
Okay.
And maybe we just kind of go through it and see how he does those movements and see if we can improve them.
Awesome.
Not off technique, just to make sure he has engagement in certain areas, just to make sure. And we'll just see. I have no idea. We'll see where it takes us and where it goes.
The important question is, if you look around this room, what one of the four corners do you want to go into to work?
That's what you're doing for the day.
And we'll see you later.